All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nikolai here.
It would be peanut butter. Jodi there. We just had a joke and I was like, you're just jelly, like the annoying slang for jealous, because I work with kids and I love to be annoying like that. He's like, actually, I'm peanut butter. And then I came up with a really
that joke really meant nothing at all besides just the opposite. We are excited to check out another WILTY clip here. We recorded last week, as we do every week. We record one day each week, and we forgot to do WILTY.
I know. How dare you?
I was like, oh no. So we're excited to get back to some of this, and there was a great comment on the one that we did recently post where it said, what you got to do is kind of make your decision when you hear their statement they're saying, and then allow them to try to convince you otherwise. So I'm going to try that today to see how that works. Which one are we checking out today?
Okay, this is my featuring Ben, Sean, Locke, David Mitchell, and Richard Hammond.
So try to guess who this guy is.
Yeah, what he is to them. So I love these ones. So it's so exciting. And it's fun to watch their reaction as they kind of like try not to giggle.
They try to be all serious and, yes, I don't know this person. Yeah, this is going to be great. I love these as well. We have a few of these on the channel. You want to watch our reactions to that. Like, not that we created, we just reacted to it. If you like our reaction to this one, please don't forget to
like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be aware of our next uploaded video. And if we get to 100,000 subscribers, we're going to do our own WILTY or
WILTY.
Oops, I clicked a button. Did I turn it off?
Oh, you're good.
I don't know anything about technology.
She's so tech savvy.
So much so.
All right, here we go.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Ben.
So we do this every single week. It's like this week's special.
So, Richard, what is Ben to you?
This is Ben, and I once convinced him that he'd been spooked by a ghost in a country house.
Sean, how do you know Ben?
Well, this is Ben, and I had to talk to him for over an hour to keep him calm when he got trapped in a portaloo.
David, what's your relationship with Ben?
No, I'm thinking a porta potty.
Oh, a portaloo. Okay.
Portaloo, yeah.
This is Ben, and he very recently took me to my first ever football match and was disappointed that I nodded off for a bit in the second half.
Lee's team, where do you want to start?
My first
first of all,
inclination is that
how was he
one,
trapped
David's.
in a portaloo?
Well, it was the lock wouldn't work, wouldn't open.
Well, why was it such a tense situation that you had to calm him down? Why is he panicking?
Because Ben, and I'm sure you'll notice that. I mean, you just have to look at him to know he suffers from a lot of anxieties. I mean, he looks so comfortable here, doesn't he? Just so relaxed under all these lights. He's not. Inside, he's...
Where was the portaloo?
on a campsite.
Had you met him before?
I'd seen him on the campsite.
And he'd nodded. Hello. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, you know what it's like. You walk across a campsite and you've got a toilet roll in your hand. Everyone knows, you know, where you're going. They sort of smile at you, so where you... It's like you've all
been there.
You've all been there, and you're walking across and you've got a toilet roll and people go, all right, you go... What again? And then they got that what again look without saying it.
So did you go to use the portaloo?
No, I was going out of the campsite.
And you heard, what did you hear?
Well, someone sort of struggling with the mechanism.
Oh, no shouting at this point.
If someone, you know, it's a matter of politeness. If someone's making sort of struggling noises in a portaloo, you don't think you can do much to help. I like to think, and even if I could, I don't really want to get involved in that problem. So as I was walking out, I thought, it looks like it was wobbling slightly. And I went back, I said, are you all right? And he went, no, I'm not.
And you talked to him for, you said, an hour?
Yes, yeah, we just...
Well, I'm curious to know what you filled an hour with.
Well, I just chatted about how his camping weekend was going.
Well, not very well.
Yeah.
So you're in the thing with him, and eventually what happened? What was the outcome?
Yeah, how did he get out?
The guy came, the campsite manager came.
And then when he came out, you obviously the first time you'd seen each other.
Yeah.
And how was that? Did you fall in love?
I'll be honest with you, I think he was a bit disappointed. It was like a blind date.
else would you like to quiz, Lee?
Richard, could you remind us again, please, of your...
I once persuaded Ben that he'd been spooked by a ghost in a country house.
And what was the story? How did you convince him?
Well, he was in a separate room, and I saw, like, a stool and realised, hang on, I can hit the rafters, knowing where he was. That'll sound like footsteps coming towards him. So I did, and he believed it was a ghost.
Yeah, no, what were you doing in this house? Is this just like an empty house where people are...
No, we worked together in radio.
Yeah.
And we were doing a ghost hunt.
Why was Ben in the room by himself?
Because he just wanted to be brave and go off, and he'd sat in the scariest, supposedly most haunted room in the house, which happened to be directly above where I was in the hall.
And how high were the ceilings in the room that you were in?
But they're fairly high, not massively high.
Well, how high?
If you think of me plus a chair, about that high.
That's a very low ceiling.
Oh, give up!
No, it is.
Really?
Listen,
Cheap shot.
I am 6 foot.
All right.
I'm just
We've got
saying,
it.
I'm 6 foot and it's great.
Is it?
How did Ben react when you were making these noises?
Well-
Did it spook him?
Yeah. He ran straight out through the door, which would have been running through where the ghost was.
Oh,
I
so
see,
he properly
right.
panicked.
Oh, God, absolutely
Did
terrified.
it? He was
Yeah.
Well, I know that about Ben. He does get very, very spooked. Anything like that freaks him right out.
He could open the lock on that door.
Yes.
You know. When did he find out that it had all been a wheeze?
I told him about 10 years later.
10 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You've let him live with this trauma for 10 years?
No, look at it this way, and I explained it to him like this at the time, because he was quite cross, because you would be. And I said, no, listen, you've dined out on that story. I know you have. You'd have told people at dinner parties, oh, the most haunted house.
Like people saying Nelson Mandela once rang me up.
Yeah.
David, remind us again, please.
This is Ben, and he took me to my first ever football match, and then was disappointed when I dozed off for a bit in the second half.
When was this?
This was last season.
Oh, he's already got all the words, hasn't
yeah.
he? He's been training for this one. I thought last season.
What was the match?
It was association football. And it was between Tottenham Hotspur and Hull.
And who won?
Tottenham Hotspur.
How do you know?
I went to it.
Just gonna pause it real quick. It's cool, like, as a sports fan, obviously in American sports, to know like all these team names and this or that. Then you hear like team names in different countries and you have no like connection with it at all. Never heard these names before. I just think that's kind of cool because the people in England who are football fans, like, these are very common names that they probably discuss every single week or whatever during the season. I have no idea.
And we do know
Where is it played? In Tottenham or at home?
Saying.
In Tottenham.
Do you remember the name of the
Football,
ground?
soccer.
What if I could? Would that make this definitely true?
I'm not willing to say how I feel about that.
Okay.
So you said it.
I'm not willing to say how I feel about anything, but that's just because I'm British. Yes, it was at White Hart Lane. Thank you. Yes, I do have a research team.
Do you remember the colour of the kits?
Let's say
Gets me the jerseys.
one team was in white and the other team wasn't.
What colour was the goalkeeper wearing?
Ooh, I love her
Green.
accent.
All over with a little tricorn hat. As I recall.
I still trust him.
How do you know Ben?
He was at school with me.
OK, and if you don't like football, why would you have gone?
I'm an idiot. I like to... no, I was about to say I like to experience new things. No, I don't. But I get bullied into experiencing new things under peer pressure. He said, you're always slagging off football. Why don't you come along and the atmosphere will be great, you might quite like it, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll shut up for a bit.
Who are you there to support?
Well, vaguely. He's a Spurs fan. That's the shortening.
Nice.
And so I was broadly, hoping his team would win.
Do you remember the score?
I think there was one goal.
Well,
To
for
the
which-
Tottenham Hotspurs?
Exactly, and it was on the basis of that that the victory was declared to be theirs.
I love that.
Back to you in the studio.
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team.
I'm going to stick with David's. What do you think?
Oh, I just don't know. I just don't know. Oh my gosh.
While you're thinking, the reason why I think David is because I don't know if they would have to be really desperate to try to find guests on there. It had some kind of connection with our panel right here where it's like he got lost in a porta potty for an hour. Like, oh, that's a great story. We got to bring him on. And then like the haunted one, I can see that happening. That'd be kind of a funny thing. Like you work together doing this or that and you made him believe it for a quick second. But then the fact that you didn't tell him until 10 years later, and then they brought him on. So 10 years ago, I scared this guy once at a haunted house. Let's bring him on. I think that's kind of far-fetched. The fact that just last season you went to a football game, you fell asleep, you kind of took, there's a lot of football fans in England, obviously. That's why I'm leaning towards that one.
I honestly have no idea, but I
Oh
did
my.
love the first guy saying, well, look at how like anxious he is and how he's standing. That cracks me up. But just because you said the haunting one's far-fetched, I'm just going to go with that one.
It's not that it's far-fetched. It's just like,
Well-
why 10 years later would we bring this guy on to talk about something that happened 10 years ago?
You know, he could have just told him
He
recently.
must have a very uninteresting life.
But they
Where
were-
I scared a guy once.
He said they worked together.
I scared a guy once. Let's do that.
Said
Watch,
they
I'm gonna be
worked
wrong.
together. I
Yes.
don't know. I truly don't know. And the one thing that threw me off with that one was the house and how he said like him plus a chair, and then everybody was making fun of obviously
Yeah.
his height.
Yeah.
But if the home was older, then
Yeah,
the
you could have a
ceilings aren't
10-foot
going to
ceiling,
be
yeah.
huge. So I'm going to go with that one because you say it's too far fetched.
The one thing that could work in that favor is they said they work together in radio.
Yeah.
So maybe that guy is like a producer or like
Or even
a
like
colleague
a tech
of
if
this
he has
studio,
his-
and so they were easy to bring him on.
Yeah.
Like I know that guy. We did this together. Let's do it.
Is
Still saying
Ben
David.
Richard's frightened friend, Sean's Portaloo pal, or David's matchday mate?
I don't see Sean chatting to somebody trapped in a portaloo. He doesn't strike me
No.
without laughing. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
don't.
true, isn't it? That is a very good point. I've known Sean long enough to know he would be going, oh, come on, everyone, let's push it over.
Richard and the roof is where he lost me. Just the height.
Yeah, the
That's
height is too high for you.
Lie all the
To
time.
exert enough force to hear it through the roof with your, like maybe you would have barely touched it, but then your height. When we looked, no.
I just want to know how tall he is.
I think they're saying that in a stately home, any person, however tall, plus a stool, they're doubted. It's not just you.
Oh, no,
it's just him.
just
Just
him.
him.
You said that like he was a Spanish ambassador and you was worried about being insulted. Yeah. I think, Ambassador, it's any person. It's nothing to do with your height, sir.
No, not Richard.
What about David in the football?
Well, it is possible that he would have a friend, I suppose.
So what are you going to say?
I suppose we're left with David, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying.
I think it's David. Right, Ben, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Ben, and Richard spooked me by pretending to be a ghost in a country house.
Really sorry, mate. Really sorry, mate.
Thank you very much, Ben.
I only guessed that just because you said it too. I only guessed it.
And that, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
my God.
is my luck. That is my luck. Listen, he's so bad at this kind of stuff. Just go with the one he's so confident is not correct. And that'll definitely work out for you.
That, not in a million years did I think that I was going to be
And I
right.
trusted that comment when they said to make your decision and let them convince you otherwise.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I do wonder, to save some face, if that Ben guy did in some roundabout way work in the same level, and that's how they're able easily to find him. But Richard, gotta live a more exciting life, my friend, than spooking someone.
But you're also trying to find an
10 years later.
You're trying to find something outlandish too. Like not just your normal everyday thing.
Spooking someone? Yes, the haunted house, that's cool. But I mean, how many times a week do we spook each other? Huh, got you. Ha ha. Let's write a story about it.
Like that one time that I started freaking out.
I can't believe it. Which
Remember?
time?
That
Which
you
time?
Made, you made a YouTube short of it that apparently all my students are seeing. Gosh.
The YouTube
that YouTube
short?
short. Right? I went, ah! And then you guys jumped and you ran from me. You ran from me. I was here and
Why are you
he
embarrassed
ran.
about that one? I was going to run. Throw me under the bus. I just lost. My life means nothing. If you like this reaction, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.